Hi, Rocky.
Hi.
Hi, Zeke. Hi, Sam. How are you doing? I am Dan Wahl. This is an exhibit called Bird Spaces at the MAFAC Gallery in Marshall Area Fine Arts Council. And I'm pleased to welcome Jim Schwartz is our videographer. He's on the board. And Alma Hale is the gallery director. He's coming a little later. And he and I assembled the exhibit, which is based on the idea of spaces that birds inhabit, and birds are like a metaphor for human spirit. So it's also a spaces for how the human spirit inhabits our world in a way. Yeah, interesting. And it also plays with ideas about artwork and what that means, and some other things too. But it's easier to just kind of look at the exhibit. So let's do that. Here's the birdhouse entrance. This is a piece, a collaborative piece that Grandpa Larry Wahl and I did together. I came up with the concept and he welded the frame. It's a circle that invites you to come into the exhibit. So I always like to go through this. I love it.
Did you see me go through it right away?
Yeah, it's always so fun. It's like, here,
just
welcome.
Like a bird.
Yeah, be like a bird. So I'm gonna do that. Jim, you've come through the entrance too.
Okay.
Good bird act.
I made it.
This is called sculpture. This whole grouping is called art. And so the pieces in the exhibit are in groupings that have a theme. And so this grouping is the theme of art. And so these are called, Sam, do you want to be the reader? You can say what these are. Or Zeke, would you like to?
Sure.
Or Rocky, would you
I'll
like
do the reader. Number one, in this art theme, this one's called architecture.
And those are actually, Rocky found a lot of the bird nests at her work at Greenwood Nursery in Marshall, Minnesota,
Incorporated.
which also has a nursery in Tracy, Minnesota.
You can see how many different things they use to make their nests.
Yeah. Are these robin nests?
Yep, these are robins. Yep.
And they grab all kinds of materials.
Oh yeah, anything they can find. A lot of the binding that held the pavers together is used in here. And
Okay, all right.
just trash sometimes that we think.
Yeah. This is called architecture. This piece is called architecture.
Yep. And then number two, this one's called sculpture. Number three, this one's called found object. And number four here is called painting.
I remember about that. I remember it's one of his old paintings.
Yeah.
That he,
Oh, really?
didn't you seal it with some sort of sealant?
I actually painted it for this piece. This is a piece called Painting. These four pieces kind of talk about how artwork, genres of art. What do you call it, Jim? Styles of art.
Styles, genre, yeah.
Are seen in different ways through the bird spaces perspective. So, for example, a lot of the pieces in the exhibit are assemblages or constructions, and this is an assemblage that is basically a found object made by a bird and a wasp. There's a wasp nest inside there. But this painting I made, and then while it was wet, I rolled it up and bound it with wire, and then I placed it by my heat register so it would dry instead of mold. And then when it was totally dry, I assembled it into this birdhouse-like structure.
This next set is called technology. This one here is called computer. This one's called radiation. This one's called cellular.
Can you describe them, Rocky?
This one's called computer. Briefcase, sticks, nest, circuit boards, acorns, wire, a glass cup, spider, feathers, and grass. This one for radiation has wood, fluorescent bulbs, cloth, and bone. And cellular has wood, acorn shells, copper wire, and mobile phone.
And it's a little hard to see in the video, but light is emitting from this bird space through little holes through the sheer cloth, and you can almost make out a shape behind the sheer cloth. If you look, there's a skull in there. Or is that a skull? No, that's like a.
It's a breastbone.
I think you're right. I don't know, some kind of bird bone.
Oh, the
And-
phone is like on.
Yeah, and there's a cell phone inside there that is always lit. And so, what's coming out? What information is coming out of this birdhouse? What information is transmitted by nature through these wires? We don't know. We don't know. What is this mixture of technology and nature? Why is there a feather growing out of this circuit board? Why are there bird nest materials climbing out of the case of the computer? Maybe there's a mingling or a mixing of technology and nature, and how do they come together? How are they resisting each other? Interesting. Hey Jim, this piece is gone somewhere else. There was a piece there. That's curious. I wonder if someone bought it.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, there was a piece there, and that was called, you'll have to imagine it.
In readiness, it was wooden sphere.
Yep, it was similar to, did someone purchase that one?
Is that a conceptual piece?
Purchased something yesterday, I don't know what it was.
That would have been that one, yep. They're all conceptual pieces.
Yes,
and
so
it's-
they're there, but you don't see them.
Oh, no, there was an actual piece there.
Okay.
But I like your thinking.
Well, it works good for this.
Idea.
Nobody will ever know on the video now, right?
Shoot. It was, you could describe it as a post with a hole that passes through an angled part of the post, and then a red sphere inside that hole. So it's like a space held with an egg, and the egg held with the space that's about to emerge, grow, become a piece of artwork, like those,
Yep.
because this is the theme.
And this set was called Openings. This one's called Opening Number 1, Opening Number 2, Opening Number 3, and Readiness.
Yeah.
That was there.
These are fun, aren't they? I like these.
Oh, very colorful. This one is.
Mm-hmm.
This set's called Literature. In the middle we have book eggs. It has a nest, plastic boxes, paper on the shelf. This is called Shakespeare. It's a box with grass, wooden spheres, keys, padlock, a knife, and feather.
Yeah, don't cut yourself. I like how it says, this says parts of the warning label were cut out, and so it says warning, heart disease. Hear that? Romeo and Juliet.
That's funny.
These are homages to writers that I like. So William Shakespeare, Emily Dickinson,
Dickinson and Hemingway,
and
right?
Ernest Hemingway, yeah. Little typewriter there. And then these are little
Plastic box.
little square eggs with words in them,
Oh,
as if the books grew out of eggs in a nest. What kind of bird would lay a
a square egg.
square egg? I don't know.
That's clear.
Maybe it's
Paper.
painful to write. I don't know.
Could
The
be.
crow, it says. The horse. The bear. There are three of my favorite animals, or totem animals. Yeah. And rabbit. I didn't ever know rabbit.
This set's called Treasure Boxes. Treasure box number 1. It's right here. Treasure box number 2. And treasure box number 3. Are these interactive? In a sense.
Gallery exhibitors aren't supposed to touch stuff, but I made the stuff so I can touch it.
Yeah.
If you are looking closely, you can see that these are These are doors. So how would a bird go through a door? I don't know. But they could enter the space. Maybe they could enter the space in other ways. There's a opening on each one that you can actually go into. And there's a space for birds to enter behind the doors. I think if I do this exhibit again, I'm going to prop these up
Just
more.
a little open?
Yeah, so that it's more clear. Yeah.
Oh, that's a little tricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it would be cool to, it would be cool to have more interactive, but they're kind of
They're hard.
fragile.
Yeah.
These are the first pieces that I made after like a years-long artist block.
Oh.
Years and years I couldn't make any artwork. And so these are like openings that helped me to discover where I was going and my ability to make. I'd been painting before, and this was a way to just start putting junk together and say,
Yeah,
can this
just
be
do that.
something? Yeah, I gotta push through this somehow. And that's why there are openings for the human spirit of creativity to move through.
It's almost like going from a dark space to a light space.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, these are called drawings. These three. This is called 3 eggs. Has a box, grass, pool ball, paper, and ink. This one's paper house with paper and pencil.
Hey, Rocky, that looks like an egg.
And this one's called scroll box with wood, paper, and pencil.
Hey, there's a drawn nest and egg on there. That's weird. Okay.
Okay. And this one's called hidden. This is key house number 1 with a wood hook, padlock, and keys. Key house 2, wood door, plate, and wooden spear and a key.
The keys are in plain sight, and for me, the key to art is always in plain sight. But you have to work through it. You have to construct something, or paint something, or dance through something, sing through something, in order to find that key, even though it's in plain sight. And in fact, there are two what you call Easter eggs in this exhibit, things that you can find that are in plain sight. So there are 2 nests in plain sight that aren't on display. Interesting. You want to search for them, Sam? They're in plain sight. Maybe on the floor somewhere. I think Jim found one.
Ah! I was so close. I was too close.
If you're over here, it's easy to see. But if you're not, then it's not easy to see. These are the shy pokes, the welcoming shy pokes. My dad, Larry Wahl, made these, and they're out of junk iron. Can you see these okay?
Yeah, good contrast.
There they are. And shy pokes are a colloquial word for heron.
Oh.
These are great blue herons,
Neat.
or green herons, I suppose. What are they made out of? Dad said he wanted to make these for, or make artwork for most of his life. And now he started doing it like
Finally
last
doing
year. And it's a little weird, not weird, it's really humbling and gratifying for your father to like follow in the son's footsteps. It's unusual, but I love these shy folks. And so I asked him if we could put them in the exhibit to welcome visitors. And so that's why they're here.
Does he have a profession related to the components that he used or anything?
No.
Kind of an everyman. He does farm work, and so he's
Yeah.
just naturally
Okay.
this kind of stuff.
But he
Cool.
likes to collect interesting junk.
Yeah.
And so I got that from him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I got that from him. And he's always been a very creative person, unacknowledged. Yeah.
This one's called Reflections. And this one's called Reflection in Stone. Made of stones, wood, and a mirror. Yeah.
There's a little mirror inside. You can see yourself.
Oh, I see them.
Zeke, you saw this exhibit at the opening reception.
With all of them.
Yeah.
Just for the one was sold out, they said. You also saw the hilarious skits you did with the mask.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the mask. This is called the golden egg. The golden egg is a metaphor for the creative process. The golden egg needs to be honored and protected. It is precious. With that, Rocky helped make that. This is a collaborative piece with Rocky. And Rocky has started making more artwork.
I have.
Yes, and preparing a studio for herself.
Oh, geez.
It's true, it's true.
The studio. This one is called, this set is called Hidden. This one's called Key House number 1. And Key House number 2. Wait, am I wrong?
Let's see.
It's a 26 though.
Oh no, transformation. This is the transformation
gotcha.
theme. So transformation, it's how do you become something else? What brings you to be something else? And this is a story of transformation that you can participate in. So here's
Beginning.
stage 1, the beginning,
That's right.
right?
Yep.
It's like an opening into what? Into a universe, into a nest for a bird, into a space of birthing, maybe. Oh, here's one called Birth.
Yeah.
There's a broken, it's actually a Christmas ornament, but it looks a lot like the egg shapes that we've been seeing throughout the exhibit. And then what else do we have here?
Be a bird.
Be a bird. Please put on the mask, step on the platform, and be a bird. Rocky, it's your golden opportunity. I'm going to sit in the audience chair. Nice bird.
That's a so sweet
I
bird.
love that bird. It is a definite Zeke bird.
The robin.
I love it. Nice. This is the final piece of the exhibit. It is a box, a treasure box in a way. What is this? Velvet lined, black velvet lined, and it's 29. No, 28.
Box feather. It's called Being.
Being. So it's a feather being. It's that most treasured thing. Just being. It's a treasured thing. Let's do the ceremony. I have to. Alma Hale, the gallery director, and I did a ceremony after we got the exhibit set up. We brought the golden egg, that symbol of creativity. We brought that into that protective space, and we actually came up with a little ceremony to do that. And so now we have a closing ceremony for the end of the exhibit, where we take the golden egg out of that space. I might get teary. Zeke, would you be the one to open the gate for us? And then I'll enter the protective space, and I'll bring the egg out to Rocky. Thank you. I want to thank everyone for being part of this exhibit. Rocky, please accept the golden egg as a symbol of the creativity moving out of this exhibit into the world. Thank you.